Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a truly special online event today. It's called Attune to Earth's Energy Grid and Become a Planetary Lightkeeper. Communicate with higher beings for deep healing, intuitive clarity, and your soul's purpose. My name is Stephen Dunnan. I'm the founder and CEO of the Shift Network, and I'm really delighted to be with you here, going on a deep exploration of the subtle fields of planet Earth and how we can engage them in a way that helps us to evolve, helps to contribute to collective evolution, that really anchors a new level of light on this planet. And we're going to get to explore with a really remarkable teacher who I've really grown to love in the last couple of years as we've been working with her. Her name is Alexandra Wenman. She is an angelic channel, awakener, alchemist, and author. She travels widely in really anchoring in these earth grids in a way that I think you're going to really find powerful and illuminating. And if you want to go further with her, we have a brand new course that we're very excited about. It's called the Diamond Earth Lightkeeper. We're going to share more about that towards the end of the hour. So, Alexandra, thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me, Stephen. It's such a pleasure to be here again.
Great. Well, let's dive in because I know we've talked a little bit more about the angelic side of your background and training and focused on that, but let's talk a little bit about your initiation and activation into working with Gaia's living grids and how that really unfolded for you and your understanding of how best that we can sort of engage these larger fields of energy and attunement.
Wow. Well, my story is it's a life's work, really. It started when I was born. I kind of came in very, very open after having an incredibly traumatic birth. And from being a really young child, I always had a telepathic connection with nature. I could speak to animals and plants and insects and have profound conversations just in my own, seemingly in my own imagination. And ancestors as well used to turn up when I was a teenager and sort of call me into service. And I remember sending them away and saying, I don't know, I don't want to see dead people. I don't know what this is all about. There was a lot of stuff going on with me as a child. And probably my biggest awareness that I was somehow connected to Earth Service was when I was about 21. I was called from Australia to the UK and I moved here. And I didn't really understand at the time why I was doing it. I just knew I had to follow that call and ended up on the other side of the world where I'm still residing. These are my ancestral lands, and from the minute I landed here, I could feel some quite funky energies, and so I know that I've been working a lot on the kind of the grids of the earth in this location of the world. There's a lot of history in this location of the world. And for many years, I was doing it without really understanding what I was doing, why I was here. And so I've had to dive in through a lot of psychic development, healing. A lot of it was taught direct to me by spirit, by my ancestors, by my guides, by the angels, how to work with earth energies and how to transmute or clear energies that are potentially stuck in places, and how to be a bridge to bring higher frequency energy and anchor it into the earth. We are ourselves part of the earth, our bodies are elemental. And we are a divine consciousness. We're both. So we are the bridge between heaven and earth. And it's not always been easy work, but it is an absolute passion of mine because once you can learn to be the bridge between your own version of heaven and earth, you can start to begin to steer your life in a direction that you want it to go in, rather than what you don't want, you start to manifest what you do. But
Mm.
we do that not just for ourselves, it's for the collective as well. It's not for selfish purposes, although it's wonderful to put yourself and your needs first. My intention is always that it's for the good of the all. We're helping to lift Gaia up on an evolutionary path to a higher frequency of bliss and joy and peace and love for everybody. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope that
Well, I
makes sense.
love that intention, and it's certainly good as a reminder when we, especially when the news cycles that we often face on a collective don't always appear to be going in that direction. So, I think that the notion of really us as the bridge between heaven and earth, and that we are uplifting through our own frequency, is really so important. And I want to ask a little bit about how you had mentioned that there's oftentimes stuck energies or blocked or things that need to be resolved. So maybe share a little bit about how your perception of that is. It's sort of like the human body writ large, where you get blockage points and stuck points and undigested traumas, and how that actually plays out on the kind of earth scale.
I think sometimes, for me, I'm so empathic. I'm so clairsentient. I can feel energy, and I always have. And I used to just think I was a complete basket case. And, I thought I was just really insecure or had low self-esteem. But I realized pretty soon that I was picking up energies in a location or a space or even a group field. And when I started to learn my tools of the trade, psychic development, being able to tune into all of the clairs and opening as a channel, I was able to then interpret what I was feeling in each space and location. So everything will start for me, but usually for all of us, because we're sentient beings, it will start as a feeling in the body. And then you can ask, first of all, how to discern this. Is this mine or is it somebody else's or is it coming off the earth herself? And if I knew where it was coming from and what it was, what would I imagine that would be? And we engage our imagination to be able to interpret what we're feeling. So we draw on all our senses. So we all have different senses like touch, taste, smell, sight, sound. We have them psychically and intuitively as well. And my body has always been so attuned to feeling that when I have a feeling, and sometimes they're uncomfortable, it's about getting comfortable with our feelings, sensations, and emotions so that we can go, hang on a minute, what is this? And if it was telling me something, what would it be telling me? Now that starts with personal healing. It goes into family lines and ancestral lines. But when we acknowledge that we are part of a greater consciousness, we can expand the container of our energy field to include an area of the earth, because of course we're connected to that. So say I'm working with or standing in a sacred site or an energy center on the earth. Sometimes I'll be like walking through and I'll suddenly get a, what's this energy? Sometimes it's beautiful energy. Sometimes it's very uncomfortable energy. And if I find a space of uncomfortable energy, I'll stop, I'll tune in, I'll say, what is this? What does it look like? Usually I'll get a vision or an image in my mind's eye, or sometimes eyes open, I'll just see it superimposed over the space or the land like a hologram. And usually it's a historical experience or a timeline. I've been in places on the planet where, my GPS has gone haywire and I've ended up being guided somewhere that I wasn't meant to be, but I've been standing in a place where a massacre has occurred or something, and I've had to clear the energy there. It's not always fun work. It's not delightful to see images like that, but it's incredible service to be able to release those energies. Sometimes there are spirit comes forward, there's trapped souls in those places or portals. But most of the time, it is about reconnecting heaven to earth in that space or that location. So, not all of it is heavy work. Some of it is beautiful work. Some of it is just standing in a space and realizing that you are connected to the whole cosmos in that place. Like, I go to Egypt very often, and I always call the temples of Egypt spaceships, because they just feel like you're standing in a gateway to absolutely everything. You're suddenly blasted open in bliss. Sometimes you're crying for no reason. You don't understand why your body's reacting the way it is. But usually it's from a profound state of love, not necessarily from something negative or bad. And your body is
Mm.
releasing or shedding and receiving healing in those places at the same time.
It's a beautiful vision that our body literally is able to transmute and build this bridge between heaven and earth. I want to ask a little bit. So you mentioned Egypt and something about sacred sites. Like, how important is it to be in the kind of the right locations to sort of do this work of kind of repairing the grid of rebuilding this bridge between heaven and earth?
You don't need to travel physically at all. You can actually do it remotely. I don't know why I've been traveling all over the planet my whole life, but I do a lot of this work remotely, and a lot of what we're going to cover in the course is how to tune in remotely, and we're going to be visiting some of these sites in our consciousness. We're connected to all of it all of the time. We are part, once we connect to our greater consciousness, we can journey anywhere in our imagination, in our mind's eye, in our awareness, and we can connect with the energies of a place or a space from our armchair. And actually, in the pandemic, I was part of a beautiful book called 21 Rituals to Connect with Nature. And obviously, we didn't know the pandemic was coming up when we wrote this book, but a lot of the rituals in that book were about visualizing being in a place or a location. And then everyone went into lockdown and they couldn't travel. So it was really part of showing people that you can go anywhere. And interestingly, on a scientific note, being in a power portal or a beautiful space in nature, just in your imagination, has the same physiological and healing impact on the body as though you were really there. So
Hmm.
that was an interesting exercise and just kind of gave me more confirmation that the work that I'm doing still works, whether I'm traveling or not. But it's wonderful
Hmm.
to have the opportunity to travel.
So is it is advisable as you start to develop doing this work that you spend some time with places that are more clear, open, the spaceships, connecting you with kind of higher realms, and then spend a little time in some of the more hellish realms that have had massacres and wars and devastation, because those are the areas that kind of need the cleanup or the completion of incomplete traumas, really. So you kind of build capacity in one area so that you kind of sustain yourself, and then you're sort of helping to address this sort of the areas that are really a pain point collectively.
I think that's it, Stephen. When it first started happening for me, because it was I was invited by spirit, really. Um, I didn't really know quite, what was going on and what was happening. There are times though where I want to be clear, it is an invitation. You don't have to go and go out and on a rescue mission for Earth, and it's certainly not a thing of putting yourself in any danger or any difficult positions on purpose. But it's always an invitation. So my intention was always put me where I'm needed, put me where I can be of the most service through unconditional love and where I can utilize the gifts that I have. And it just opened a door for this travel to start happening. And the way it started happening was I'd just start to dream of a place or a location, or I'd wake up in the middle of the night with a word of a place name going around in my head. And some of these places were on the other side of the world, often when I didn't have very much money in my bank account. So you can imagine I'd be like, okay, and I'd hand it back and I'd say, all right, well, if somehow you're going to get me there. I don't know how you're going to get me there, but I'll say yes and show me the way. And I just was open to what I was shown. I mean, random places. Easter Island was one of them, and I just had the word Rapa Nui going around in my brain. And without even having a conversation with my husband, 6 months later, he suddenly suggested, "Why don't we go to Easter Island on our honeymoon?" And, it was just the most random synchronicity. Then we go to Easter Island. We're supposed to be there for 2 days. Then there's a flight strike and we're stuck on Easter Island. And on the eighth day, I suddenly forgot, like I was on honeymoon, I'm just on holiday. On the eighth day, I suddenly went, oh, there was something I was meant to do. So I sit down and I start journaling and I tune in and I'm like, is this flight strike perhaps something to do with what I'm here? Yes, beloved, we're waiting for you to do the work. Would you please, do what we've asked you to do? I kid you not, I go, I do the work, I clear the energy, I connect what I'm meant to connect, do the attunement that I've been given. And the flight strike not only lifts, but my husband and I were on the first flight off the island. Somehow skipped the massive queue, and like you cannot make it up. And the ego wants to have a field day with it. I'm like, really, seriously, not all this for me, but it wasn't for me, it was for the work that needed
Wow.
doing. So
Well,
it's incredible
well,
what
yeah, one
happens.
of the things that's an amazing story. And one of the things I love about it is it sort of points to that this is necessary work. This isn't just like nice to do work. This is sort of necessary for this transitional moment we're in as a planet, that we need to address these areas that have essentially been unconscious, that have been traumatized, that they need this healing and calibration in order for, the larger evolution to happen.
They're microcosms of the macrocosm. We're waking up these huge power portals. One of the words, the phrases that my guides gave me was in 2012, I was called to Egypt and they said, we need your help to reawaken the temples. And that was as simple as it was. It's all this energy is waking up again, and we are waking up again. So as Gaia kind of opens up these energy fields, these places hold coded memory. So when you're in it, you're simultaneously receiving, it's like imprints of days gone by, historical information. If ever we've been like lied to, or truth or history's been distorted, you stand in these places and the codes of memory in your own DNA start to awaken, and you feel a truth in your body. So you know whether or not what you've been told about this place is a truth. I mean, there's a lot of people writing now about the Great Pyramid being a power generator and not a tomb, and I can completely confirm that from what I've been shown and from what I feel. So that's just one
Mhm.
example.
So one thing that I think comes up probably for a lot of people is that we have a natural tendency to want to go towards those things that are uplifting and transformational and probably avoid some of the really harder, darker places. You know, it's like it feels like a more advanced practice to go into Gaza and try to help transform all of the devastation there energetically. But do you have like a set of recommendations for how you can start to work on areas that I know you're going to do more in your course, but like how you can start to be of service in some of these areas that have particularly dark, hard, traumatized areas that in a way you can go in a way that doesn't sort of diminish our own energy in that process.
I think everything starts with intention. I wouldn't suggest people again go out and put themselves in any kind of danger, but intention is really powerful. So if all you're doing is visualizing a place like Gaza as already healed and already at peace, then you're helping to imprint that peace on that location. If your intention is to send love, I find that if we focus on what's going wrong, with the intention of fixing it, we can sometimes imprint more of what's going wrong onto it. We can amplify it. But if you're holding a neutral space, when we sit down and we go, right, unconditional love says non-judgment. There is no right, there is no wrong, there is no duality, there's no good or bad. And that's sitting at back and looking at it more from a divine perspective of there's something going on here and I'm just observing it. And when we ask for whatever's for the highest and best good of all to play out, then we're actually helping in a bigger way. We might not know what that is. We
Hmm.
might, from our human perspective, think, oh God, that needs to happen for that to play out. But we can't see the divine perspective. So I always sit back and go, okay, I'm asking for the highest and best outcome to play out here. My intention is for peace and love and for everybody to be healed and safe and for war to end. And but it's a bit like Gollum in Lord of the Rings, when Gandalf says, he still has a part to play. We don't know what that part is in the bigger kind of functionality of our evolution, but we can ask for that. We can ask for what we want and we can trust the divine, and that helps to steer things in the right direction. But I think when we hold on really tightly to outcomes, that's really where we can almost limit because there might be bigger miracles at play that we're
Hmm.
limiting.
That's
How
that's
I
a great
work
insight.
is, yeah, like I observe. I kind of I'm more the observer, and if I'm shown something, I go, right, well, what needs to happen here? This energy feels stuck. If it needs clearing, then I open a space of unconditional love and ask for it to be transmuted in the highest and best way, and then I watch it happen. It's not me doing it, really. It's the divine working through me.
Hmm. Beautiful. I want to ask about, we said we would talk about diamond light and diamond earth activation. I know we're going to go into an experiential of that, but maybe just share a little context of what your experience of the diamond light is and how that works with the planetary grid.
So to me, the diamond light, the diamond frequency is like the highest, purest frequency of like the divine that is um that we're able to encompass. It's like our soul's light. It's our highest experience of spirit. It lives within us. It's a return to our innocence. And it's like the 0 point frequency. So if we think of that neutrality, that neutrality of unconditional love, the diamond frequency holds that. But it also is an elevated experience. I always think of it as a metaphor. We talk about diamonds forming under pressure, and everything we're going through is almost helping to polish up our soul to bring us back to that diamond clarity of who we really are. It's a state of innocence, it's a state of purity, and that's not a state of naivety, by the way. It's just coming back to that knowing that we are all diamond souls. We're all great divine avatars having a physical human experience. And the diamond frequency, I believe, is the divine kind of being anchored into this physical realm. We're simultaneously lifting up the earth while we're bringing down those higher
Hmm.
frequencies and bridging it in.
So how do you, as a sort of a light keeper, working to bring that diamond light, what's the practice of bringing that diamond light into the earth grid?
Really, visualization. We hold codes of it in our DNA, and I'm learning new things all the time. My book is all about the diamond light and the diamond frequency and coming into going up the ladder of ascension and stepping into those codes. One of my favorite visualizations through my Archangel Alchemy system is putting a big diamond octahedron in your energy field, seeing it as brilliant, like a diamond, seeing yourself as a diamond. And that incorporates sacred geometry as well, which is the patterns of nature, which to me is the mathematics of unconditional love because it just talks of divine perfection. And then you radiate that out, but it simultaneously protects your energy field while it anchors those codes. It's like pulling it down from the highest point above, anchoring it into that deepest point below, and bringing in all of the elements as well. The four corners of the north, south, east, west kind of balances everything. And when you sit in that diamond frequency, again, you become the bridge, but you become one with all of it. It's kind of opens you up to higher consciousness, super highways of information, and activates your DNA as well. It will bring online those codes within your DNA.
Hmm. So we share a little bit about sort of this. So I know the focus of this work with the Lightkeeper work is to shift things for the collective, but like what some of what you perceived when people start doing this work, how it does accelerate their own spiritual awakening as well.
Well, it helps you get more grounded into kind of your highest timeline, your highest version of Earth. You can actually shift paradigms. So if life's not feeling like it's quite fitting you or going your way, you can actually start to lift the frequency of the systems around you. Say you're operating at a heart center and yet your daily waking life, you keep kind of hitting up against systems and experiences where people don't feel so heart-centered. You can actually ask to elevate the space around you, the world around you, the systems around you to match your frequency. And then you'll start finding more support in different systems. I mean, we work in so many kind of old, outdated patriarchal systems at the moment. Those systems aren't necessarily going away, but they've got to shift from the inside. And by setting an intention like that, you're actually helping those systems shift as well.
Fascinating. I want to ask also about this notion, which I think is really interesting, that your personal chakras mirror the planetary chakras, and so essentially like how the we're the microcosm cosmic version of the planetary grid, and share a little bit more about that.
Well, they're all energy centers, really. They're disks and portals and spirals. And when we work, when we go to a major planetary chakra, and I can use Glastonbury, one of my favorite places on the planet, as an example, as you're coming into Glastonbury, which is said to be the heart chakra of the planet, and I don't know anyone to date who especially sensitives who hasn't felt an incredible heart opening as they've driven in or traveled into Glastonbury in the UK. It does have an effect. The heart chakra of the planet will have an immediate effect on your heart chakra. Now, whether or not that's from our own expectation or just the knowing of, oh, it's the planetary heart chakra, therefore my heart will open, but it has a physiological effect. I always feel that as I'm arriving there, I just want to go, it's absolutely incredible. Another space, they say that they used to say Luxor, I think, was the throat chakra of the planet, but now they say it's the Great Pyramid. I find the whole of Egypt opens up my channel, and I just want to channel and do light language the whole time when I'm there. I'm writing, I'm downloading, I'm getting loads of information, and everything feels really clear. I feel really articulate when I'm in those spaces. Um, Being in those spaces does help to amplify and cleanse our own physical chakras. And vice versa, again, if we're working on our heart chakra, we can imagine being in the energy of those power portals to enhance the work that we're doing there. But we are, like I said, we are microcosms of the macrocosm. Gaia is part of us as much as we are part of her. Um, and we even know scientifically that our cells are made of the very same stuff as the stars. So we're connected to all of it. Our consciousness is so vast. I think people are starting to understand the nature of our multidimensional soul more and more these days. It used to be something that would kind of boggle people's brains, but I think people are getting their own evidence of it more and more now.
Hmm, fascinating. Do you have any other insights into what other planetary chakras to attune with that align with our own?
I just, if you ever want to feel calm and grounded, even if you haven't been there, let yourself journey to Mount Shasta in California. I absolutely love it. It's one of the calmest places I think I've ever felt. I'm an air sign and a Libran, so grounding is wonderful for me. But I just found the energy there so clean and crystalline and beautiful, and there were waterfalls with rainbows bouncing off them, and that's probably one of my places that I go back to in my meditations quite a lot when I want to just feel like that out breath of just feeling held and contained, like you feel very anchored in the body there, just like everything's kind of coming together. And it was an interesting juxtaposition when I was there. It was many years ago. It was probably about 30 degrees Celsius, so it was a really hot day. I was wearing little shorts and a pair of flip-flops, and I'm standing in snow, but the sun was beating down on me. It was like this kind of all the symbolism was speaking to me of purity, like solar codes, purity, so much pristine energy. So and I think, even if you don't recognize that a place on the planet is a power portal, if there are places you love to go where you feel at home and safe in your own skin, travel there in your own consciousness. These will be your own personal power chakras and portals, Even your own backyard can be a power center for you.
Hmm, fascinating. Well, I know we want to go into an experiential with the Diamond Earth activation. So why don't we take the time now if you can introduce that and tee it up, and then let's go into a practice together where we experience it.
I'd love that. Well, as part of this process, you're also going to be attuned to your own planetary light keeping kind of earth guidance team. And I'm going to see what guides and beings want to come through for the group. I never really plan these too much. So, first, I'm just going to invite everybody to close your eyes and come into your heart space and just take a couple of nice deep breaths with the intention that you're sort of sitting deeper into your body. Just really feel the sit bones, feel yourself really anchored into your body, and just feel the connection of your soul energy to your beautiful body. We're going to send a blessing to our body, which is part of the kingdoms of the earth, the elemental kingdoms. First of all, we're going to ask to upgrade the diva or the angel of our physical body. So you might feel a wave of energy come in as we ask to elevate the frequency of our body consciousness and our nervous system, particularly to be able to hold more light, to be able to open, to be a bridge in consciousness between heaven and earth. And we offer gratitude to our body consciousness for the beautiful vessel that it is. We're going to call in a gorgeous liquid blue cooling light coming all the way from infinite source above our heads. And just feel it like pure cleansing water traveling down through the crown of your head, coming into the center of the brain, and then traveling out through the nervous system. And it's going to start cleansing away any shock or trauma and really calming and soothing the nervous system, really soothing any frayed nerves and doing any repairs. And these repairs, I'm being told, are from any traumatic past lives or experiences that you may have had on the earth to help you step into a new vibration of earth, step into a new timeline and a new version of the earth. So just feel the nervous system calming and soothing the vagus nerve. And then we're going to allow that beautiful cooling liquid light to just circulate through all of the body, the blood, the bones, the teeth, the hair, the organs, the sinews, the muscles, the tissues, just moving and circulating, allowing the body to feel safe on the earth. I want you to be aware now of an amazing diamond grid of light, like a lattice work of light, horizontally traveling up from the center of the earth and engaging with the soles of your feet as it comes up to the surface of the planet. It's as though you have diamonds on the soles of your feet. And as this diamond light connects with your feet, it's as though you're receiving gratitude from Gaia herself as she says, "Thank you for being here, beloved child of light. Thank you for choosing to be on the earth at this time." Know that as you connect with this diamond grid, you're actually stepping onto a much more elevated pathway And this grid is going to start lifting you up and out of any previous timelines of trauma and reconnecting you to lifetimes and pathways and timelines where you feel like you succeeded in your soul mission, where you lived lifetimes of joy and bliss and peace on the earth. And this is a great remembrance. And we're going to allow a portal of light to open above our heads as a gigantic diamond white sun, a beautiful solar orb, descends. And you're going to feel this again, engaging with your crown and then moving all the way down through your body as it opens behind it a pillar of light, opening a beautiful pillar of diamond white light flecked with gold, bringing codes from the sun, from the divine down through the sun, and really bringing it all the way down to the feet, connecting with that diamond grid as you become a bridge of light. And this creates a powerful protection around you. Now I want you to be aware of a huge team of angels. I call these the world angels. And these world angels are actually the consciousness of many planets, suns, star systems. They're infinite in number. Gaia herself is one of them. She's an angelic consciousness. So you might be aware of huge solar and lunar angels, planets, kind of almost like they're walking out of the cosmos and forming a huge, powerful circle around you. And they're going to start pulling in light and weaving around you a huge diamond, this diamond shield of light, weaving it around you, forming huge protection. And this is a beautiful, powerful healing on your etheric field and your auric field, reminding you that you are not just a member of the collective of Earth, but you are part of a huge cosmic community, a divine community. You're rejoining the galactic community. And they're going to hold protection around you. These are part of your world healing, your earth service team. They will work with you if you choose. It's always an invitation. And they will help you be of service if you need to. And you're part of your personal earth team as well. You will be aware of some elemental guides coming in. You might see fairies or gnomes. You might see earth dragons. You might see fire spirits. You might see mermaids and water spirits. All kinds of elemental beings coming in. We also welcome in members of the plant kingdom. You might see vines growing up through your energy field. You might be aware of beautiful dryads appearing, tree spirits coming in, flower fairies. Also, we welcome the animal kingdom. Be aware of what animals are around you in your mind's eye right now. And those animals are part of your guide team, helping you to be of service to the earth. The animals carry so much wisdom. I'm seeing lots of animals. I'm being particularly reminded of the whales and how they are incredible keepers of the Akashic records and the timelines here on the earth. So lots of water mammals, dolphins and whales coming in as we connect with these beings. Also cats, horses. These beautiful sensitive creatures are great at helping to transmute energy. I've traditionally always had a cat. I'm such a witchy woman with the feline familiar. I recently said goodbye to my beautiful cat Jezebel, but she's coming in here, little black cat coming in to support. Be aware of any spirit guides around you. I have lots of ascended masters and ancestors coming in. Tribes of light. We have Native Americans, Aborigines, lots of the tribes of the earth and those tribal ancestors that hold those earthly energies. And also the consciousness of some of the planetary portals and chakras. We have a team of mountain spirits coming in here, and they want to remind us that they are beings, they are alive, they are guardians of the earth. They've been here for eons, for so long. And they may seem, inanimate, but they are not. They are living beings. They hold consciousness. They hold the crystalline records of remembrance. Many of them are situated on ley lines and power portals. So it's interesting that the pyramids and the temples have been built on some of these power nodes, but the mountains were there to begin with. And many of the tribal people actually worshipped the mountains as giants, and they knew that there was energy there. They knew that there was wisdom there, and they saw these places as also portals between heaven and earth. Uluru in Australia is one such place as well. So these mountains, just see if there's a mountain range or a particular rock formation or power portal on the planet that wants to reveal itself to you. You might be aware of Sedona or Uluru or Table Mountain or Tibet or the Himalayas or the mountains of Sierra Nevada or Switzerland. Just see which mountains feel like they're calling to you. You may even have an image of a mountain transforming itself into a giant being or angelic figure. And I'm just being told that this being, as a guide for you, is giving you the ability to move mountains in your own life, to begin to almost unpick and disentangle yourself from any stuckness so that you can start moving forward again. It's interesting that we're in a horse year, we're in a year 1, and there's a lot of forward momentum coming in this year. So these beautiful giants are coming in. They are divine Elohim beings that have been here for a very, very long time, and they want to assist humanity now. So moving mountains as a metaphor for your life is a gift that they are giving you right now. We also have ascended masters coming in. Lots of the masculine feminine couplings. So Mary Magdalene and Yeshua and Solomon and Sheba. Lots of these couplings coming in I'm seeing on the energetic sphere. And this is about allowing us to come into balance with our own inner masculine and feminine energies. We have the angelic choirs, the angels, the archangels, the seraphim, the Elohim. Be aware of your own guardian angel standing behind you now. And the guardian angel is also showing you that they are kind of here with you on the earth plane, but that they link into a huge team of guardian angel spirits that exist at every level of consciousness, right through from guardian angel, through all the choirs of angels, up through Elohim, straight to the divine. So you don't just have one guardian, you have guardians at every level of consciousness. They're here to remind you that you are an avatar, you are a bodhisattva for the earth. If you're watching this, you do have a powerful gift for anchoring light here, and your purpose is to spread love. And you might even receive at this time just one word, a word or a symbol or a sign about your own innate gifts and about how you are meant to do this work, about what your gifts are. Some of you will be more scientific or mathematical, some of you might be quite musical, some of you will be artistic. However you're meant to bring through your gifts, to bring this love frequency onto the planet, know that you will do it in your own particular way. Not everyone is a channel like me, but you will all have your own particular way of using your gifts. The permission here is to say yes to your imagination. Let your imagination run wild. If you can imagine it, what would it be like if you could craft for yourself the most beautiful version of Earth for you? And then just hold an image of that. See a vast landscape opening before you. What are the particular qualities of the heavenly pleasure garden that Earth was meant to be that you want to seed here now? Now we're being given the symbol of a rainbow as a piece of evidence. So remember this vision, remember what you need on your earth to make it feel safe for you. And we're going to allow that rainbow to stretch across your vision. And I want you to keep an eye out in your daily waking life for a picture of a rainbow. You might see the word rainbow, you might see an actual rainbow. Know that anytime you see a rainbow, you are actually accessing those diamond frequencies, because the diamond white light contains every color of the rainbow. Let that rainbow arc over your head now, and this opens a beautiful canopy of highest divine truth and light. So it opens you to higher information, higher guidance. You will always be guided and led to the right place, experience, and timeline for you. Finally, we have an incredible group of beings. I call them the interdimensional or intergalactic Elohim. They live in incredible realms of light. Some of their homes are the trailing tails of the shooting stars and the comets. I'm being made aware of Three Eye Atlas, which is, I believe, a light ship that is actually orbiting our Earth at present. But it's the trailing tails and the codes of light coming from this comet that is actually creating a huge wave of awakening. I'm being given the color emerald green to give us all a boost of vitality, physical healing, and an extra boost of energy. If you've been feeling a bit lost or a bit flat or a bit directionless, this is to give you physical vitality back, but also to jet propulsion you in the right direction for your life again. So finally, again, we have the world angels coming in. They are really infusing that diamond shield in our energy fields with the brightest, most brilliant, pearlescent diamond white light you can imagine, and just allow yourself to receive this energy. Know that this is your light. Know that this is your soul's light. That when you are viewed from the higher realms, your light shines brighter than 10,000 bright suns. You know, my guides tell me that we are brighter than all the stars in the cosmos at once. Know your light, know your power, know it is unconditional love. These guides will walk with you for as long as you wish them to. They will help you be of service to the earth, but they will also help you receive the gifts that you are meant to receive here in this lifetime. The word I'm being given now is integration. So just let yourself relax, let all of this integrate, receive. We're going to bring the light from that rainbow canopy and that diamond frequency all the way down, and we're going to ground it through our feet, our legs, and we're going to connect it in with that diamond grid beneath us. And we ask for this to open a doorway into our daily waking lives so that we can start to experience more grace, more ease, more of the miraculous, more joy, more bliss, more peace, more evidence of it on a physical world stage in our personal lives, but also in our collective lives. And then we send this light out through the ley lines, out through the portals, out through the star temples, out through the crystal grids of the earth as a gift for everyone. So as we receive, so shall we give. And so it is. And then we're just going to allow that diamond shield to lock into place. Just feel it become like the hardness of a diamond around you, the toughest crystal stone around you, to really solidify all of these gifts and blessings, and to know that you're now walking on a higher timeline. And then we just place a finger to our lips as a shush, almost to seal the space. And then we release that portal of light. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come all the way back.
Wow, you covered a lot of ground there. It's amazing how much you're weaving together there in terms of our own awakening connection with the cosmos, the angel of earth, the sort of ley lines, the guides that are blessing and power us. It's amazing. Yeah, I want to ask a little bit about just how to sort of anchor that as sort of an ongoing practice, since I think that was a profound transmission of connection points and elevating frequencies.
So I think just meditating on that diamond shield, Stephen, is a great way to connect with all of that energy. I just call it like I see it. So I just open up and go, right, who needs to be here? What needs to happen in this space? And I feel like it was just over 10 minutes, but it feels like we, yeah, probably did about a month's worth of work in that time. Um, but all of that, if you just imagine yourself sitting in a huge diamond octahedron and you meditate within that light, it will help to anchor all of that into your daily waking life. It's simultaneously, I find, grounding and expanding at the same
Mhm.
time.
So I want to ask a little bit about the connection with mountain spirits. I was just in Peru recently and connected with Apu, Asun, and Gaute. It's very much part of their cosmology that each mountain is a living entity that has specific teachings, qualities, guidance for us. And I'd love that whole notion of like really developing a more personalized relationship with a mountain or a particular geography. I'll share a little, ask a little bit more about how to anchor that in as a practice as well.
I think for me, it's always just been a natural thing. I've always seen the whole of our reality as being alive. And so you can have a conversation with anything, a mountain, a tree, a plant. Um, to me, it, they just come forward and I see them in my mind's eye. So one of the ways I teach people how to connect is to open them up to their channeling, to a bit of their psychic abilities, their clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, so that they can then interpret what the guide or the guardian of the mountain or the tree might look like to them. um, Often these guides, when they come forward, it's a symbiotic relationship again. As we give, so shall we receive. So you can just ask in your own imagination, if the mountain that showed up for me in that meditation had a message or a personal gift for me, what would it be showing me? What would it be giving me? What would it represent for me? We often think of mountains as strength. We also think of, surmounting something, coming over problems. Mountains were always synonymous with evolution and ascension and the highest peak. But also with grounding, incredible roots and, putting down roots and feeling really present and solid on the earth. If you were to become like a mountain in your own life, if you were to be kind of, I guess, immovable in your integrity or in your intention, and you became like a mountain, you would actually start to feel really strong in your own body. So you can actually emulate the mountain. The
Hmm.
guides always say we are giants among men anyway. You are a giant. You might have a small body. They call us the little ones because in stature we're small, we're not insignificant. But we're huge, really, when we connect to our consciousness. It's infinite.
Well, Alexandra, I mean, you are just a fountain of fascinating insights into the nature of reality and how we can really put ourselves on a pathway of ascension and being the bridge between heaven and earth. So I'm excited about your upcoming course with Shift and want to talk now about that, how people can get engaged and really take on these practices and make them their own. So Alexandra's agreed to teach a brand new program for Shift. It's called the Diamond Earth Lightkeeper. Attune to Gaia's crystalline grid and receive galactic light codes for healing and spiritual evolution. You can find it at the URL diamondearthlightkeeper.com, diamondearthlightkeeper.com. It's a 7-week program, very experiential, and Alexandra, I'd love for you to share some of your intentions for what people will come away with.
Well, even though, some of this work can feel very deeply spiritual and some of the language I use can feel very kind of cosmic, it's important that we ask for evidence that what we are actually doing and engaging with is working for us. So you will receive on this course a lot of evidence in your daily waking life that the shifts that are happening internally are also happening externally. When I've taught these courses before, sometimes things that we've intended have played out on the news. So it does blow my mind. So we are grounding the energy. It is heaven to earth. It's not about flying off and pie in the sky. I just want to make sure that people know that. But you are going to experience connecting with ley lines, how to work with ley lines, how to work with planetary chakras, how to really anchor your intentions into the earth, how to read the earth's energies in different spaces and locations. Also, understanding your personal relationship with Gaia, your personal, why did you come here? Why are you here at this time? What are you here to do? What are your personal gifts in terms of how you work in earth service? And again, how to interpret energies, how to set your intentions. We're going to be doing a lot of work with more of the teams of light, so elemental, angelic frequencies, how to work with those, how to do more remote planetary work, and opening stargates, portals. Yeah, how to shift the energy from low vibration to high vibration within ourselves and around the planet as well. So some of it
Amazing.
really practical and some of it really magical and a bit of all in between.
That sounds truly amazing. So let's go through the modules and just give a little bit of a preview of what's coming. So module 1 is called Awaken as a Diamond Earth Lightkeeper to uncover the sacred agreements your soul made.
Yeah, in this module, we're going to take a really beautiful journey into the core, the crystalline core of Mother Gaia. You'll receive an attunement there. We're going to be working a lot with the 0 point field, and you're going to be properly attuned and activated as a diamond light keeper. There are multiple layers to this, and I always say that we have a loose itinerary, But everything that I teach is very bespoke to the groups that are joining us. So there might be a few surprises that come in through some of these modules as well for each of the groups. So I'm just going to open and see what needs to come through as well.
Module 2, aligning with Earth's sacred chakras to balance and expand your light body and receive planetary wisdom.
Yeah, so we're going to be working directly with some of the major planetary chakras, and we're going to learn what they hold for us in terms of gifts, abilities, talents. As we work with them, as we said, they bridge into our own chakras. What gifts are they awakening within us, and what gifts do we have to deliver to the earth? You're going to learn a lot more about what a chakra is, what a planetary chakra is, how they operate, what their purpose is, and also the fact that they can be movable. These energies are movable. You might find that there are different schools of thought as to what chakra is where on the planet. And there are also minor chakras. So you might be aware of a power portal somewhere, even in your own neighborhood, that could be a high level node or chakra. And it's about learning how to tune into those energies and connect to those spaces, even if they're not known about.
Module 3, navigate ley lines and energy currents to amplify healing power and restore harmony for yourself and the planet.
Again, we're going to be learning about the history of ley lines. Other lines on the earth are dragon lines, spirit lines or spirit roads, song lines, the Aboriginal song lines. We're going to learn about what they are, how the phrase was coined, as much of what the purpose of them is that I can share, and how they are superhighways of high frequency energy that also travel beyond the earth and into the cosmos.
Module 4, open celestial portals and stargates to receive galactic codes to empower your sacred grid work.
One of my favorite practices, there's a beautiful experience I'm going to share with you as part of this practice, which is all about building physical earth altars and connecting physically with the earth to open portals in a space or a location and leaving gifts for the earth, really. And that language of reciprocity, which is as we give, so shall we receive. But when we open these stargates and portals, we allow more angels, more beings of light to enter onto our earth, to come into our realm, and to help raise the frequency up as well.
Module 5, anchor angelic and elemental frequencies to transcend life's obstacles, harmonize your light body, and access higher truth.
So this is about receiving more and more help on the earth plane. And I feel like I want to make a comment here. There's been a real trend lately for people to talk about spiritual bypassing. And I've noticed that a lot of people who work with angels and guardians of light have been feeling a little bit of shame around the fact that they're connecting at higher levels. But in my experience, spiritual bypassing isn't about talking to angels and beings of light. It's as long as we're anchoring and grounding the information and the wisdom that they bring. So these guides are going to be helping us to anchor the work that we're doing into our daily waking life. They are here to support us. And again, it's a two-way street. We're lifting Gaia up to a higher vibration and we're rejoining a community of light. Angels and guides and beings are a normal part of that new reality. So it is about really crafting a new reality where we are rejoining a family of light. So these beings and guides are here to help us remember that oneness.
Exciting. Module 6 then goes into master remote and collective grid work to facilitate global healing from anywhere as you connect to your highest truth.
Yeah, as we've said, even scientifically, imagining you're in a place or a location has the same effect on the body. And we can even journey in time. We can travel forward and backward in time. We can shift timelines by doing remote work. We can view our highest potential future and we can change that timeline if we want to. When we learn to tune into these energies, we can also clear energy grids that have been created by sort of negative programming. We have grids that are created by sort of limited thinking and things like that. Things like the glass ceiling on women, we can learn to clear that out of our lives so that we can progress forward in a higher and better way for ourselves and also for the collective. So there's a lot to explore there on that remote stage, a little bit of remote viewing as well for those that are interested.
Module 7 then is receive the codes to embody your highest divine blueprint and step into your planetary service.
So this is the final module, and it's a big celebration. It is like you're receiving your initiation, really anchoring the work. Again, I'm going to leave it a little bit open to see what comes through for the group and what the individuals need, and there might be a few surprises up the sleeve of not me, but the teams. But I'm being given the word miracles. To understand what the miraculous is and to open and make space for more of the miraculous to enter our lives. So we often think of the unknown or what we don't know, especially in terms of our future, as being a bit scary or we feel a bit anxious about it. But what if the unknown was actually something really exciting? What if something really brilliant was around the corner? And when we start to expect that, we actually help to open the way for more of the better and the good to come into our lives. So we're going to be working with miraculous energies as part of that final module.
What a fascinating program and this very advanced material, and clearly it's coming out of your embodied lived experience and so much powerful insight. So I'll share a little bit more about it. So again, the whole program is laid out at diamondearthlightkeeper.com. If you choose to move forward, you're going to get the 7 90-minute live sessions with Alexandra that we just described, which is a great time to ask your questions live and also engage in the practices live, which have a real power when they're done collectively together. There's also recordings of every session, both video and audio, so you can re-enter these spaces. There's full word-for-word transcripts. There are weekly practices for home. There's a community to support you and deepen your experience, as well as small group time to connect with other participants. So Alexandra's been very generous with extra bonuses to enhance the journey for you. There's a whole video teaching called Guardians of Gaia, the Path of Planetary Service. That's just the first bonus. There's more detail on the page. There's also a full ebook Alexandra's created called the Diamond Lightkeeper's Handbook, a practical guide to planetary healing. You want to share a little bit about your ebook on that?
Yes, the ebook provides a lot more information on ley lines and planetary chakras and energy grids for a little bit of extra information if you want to delve into it on a practical level before we begin the course. So it's quite an in-depth resource, I suppose, that you can go back to time and time again to give you a little bit of practical background.
Great bonus. And then there's a special bonus that folks get if you sign up by midnight tonight Pacific time. This gives you a little extra incentive to take the time to go through diamondearthlightkeeper.com and really tune in with your own inner knowing after participating in this hour. And if you choose to move forward, you're going to get a full video teaching from Alexandra called the Diamond Earth Activation Ceremony. Awaken your expanded crystalline light body. Want to share about that special bonus they get today?
Yes, this is a beautiful attunement to really awaken and expand your light body into this diamond crystalline service. You will learn how to really connect in with the purest element of your soul's energy and expand your light body out to really expand it out around the globe and beyond. So it really helps you to feel quite vast and quite powerful in this work and protects you as well.
Amazing. What a beautiful extra bonus to get to participate in that. Well, it's clearly going to be such a groundbreaking, illuminating, uplifting, elevating, ascension oriented process. And this journey, I think, is going to be epic for everybody who chooses to move forward. So, again, it's all at diamondearthlightkeeper.com. You get that special bonus of the Diamond Earth activation ceremony if you sign up today. We've kept the investment very accessible for you. It's just 3 payments of $128 or save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start February 5th and run Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, and those times work well for Europe as well. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings and transcripts in the community. There's some beautiful testimonials on the page. People just love studying and working with Alexandra, offers a bridge between the seen and unseen with such clarity, grace, and eloquence, walks the path of the Archangel Alchemist, Trail of Magic, lots of really cool testimonials about her work. So you're in really good hands and you will receive a really powerful transmission of this work if you choose to move forward. So again, it's all at diamondearthlightkeeper.com and you'll get that special bonus of the Diamond Earth activation ceremony when you sign up by midnight tonight. So, Alexandra, we're at the end of our hour. You have just been mind-blowing to be with this today, and what a blessing. I feel uplifted myself, and really, there's deep healing that gets transmitted by you. So, thank you for that. So anything that's still on your heart you want to share with folks who are considering doing the full course with you?
I just feel to say, there's never really been such a time on our planet where our planet really needs us. Gaia really, really needs us right now. And Earth service is such a not just a beautiful practice, but it's a really necessary practice. But the other thing I want to say is that we need our planet. We need Gaia. And so we need to look after her if we want her to look after us. I think for a long time we've forgotten this symbiotic relationship. And for those of you who really want to give back to Mother Earth and support her in supporting us and vice versa, this course is for you. If you've ever felt guided to anywhere on the planet, you just feel like you love being in nature, and it's for beginners all the way through to people that are really highly spiritually advanced as well.
Hmm. Well, what a blessing this offering and this course, and really this work that you're doing. It's really at the heart of how we help evolve ourselves and evolve our planet. So thank you, Alexandra, for your deep pioneering of this work, and thank you for the offering of this upcoming course. And again, if you'd like to go further, it's the Diamond Earth Lightkeeper, and you can find it at diamondearthlightkeeper.com. And if you get signed up today, you're going to get that special bonus of the Diamond Earth activation ceremony. So thank you so much, Alexandra. Thank you all for joining. Many
Thank you,
blessings.
Stephen. Thank you, everyone.